Hello, Star Lovelies. It's a great time to be a soul. Today we're talking about
What a mind meld this week is. Here we are, the first week of January. For a lot of people, we've had this beautiful time off from the holidays and we've wanted to hit the reset button. It's the start of the new year. The calendar is turned over. And yet, this week, the energy does not support that starting gate, off to the races, let's sprint, let's go. The energy this week is all about, think of the tortoise versus the hare. The tortoise, it's a marathon. It's this beautiful, long expanse, and we just happen to be at the first step. And yes, even though the first step and even the longest journey is the most important, let's make sure that that works for us. And let's make sure that we say, okay, let's think about this as the door opening, and we're going to take a step through it, and we are going to allow ourselves to think of it as like a blooming or an opening or a soft invitation. If we are to address this week that way, it's not going to be a bad week. It actually could be a pretty good week. We can allow ourselves to go with that rhythm, with that cadence, with understanding and appreciating who has our best interests at heart, who we've already formed relationships with, who we trust. The planets are wreaking havoc this week. We've still got that Mars retrograde that's been going on for a month now, and it's going to be continuing for another month and a half. And he's just switched signs on this Monday, the 6th. Then we've got this other energy that's just come in that feels really supportive, but it feels supportive for things in the past, not things in the future. And then we've got Neptune entering at the end of the week as we're shifting the soul, collective soul karma and soul destiny. So lots of big shifts, but they don't feel huge in the external life. They feel huge in that inner reflection. And so we want to be mindful, intentional, and discerning this week. Those are the best tips that we have, because it is like shifting sands. And just when we feel like we're like, great, we hit the reset button and we've got clarity and we've got calm and we've got certainty. No, that's not true. We have that when we look at it from an intuitive perspective or from a creative spiral perspective. This is very feminine energy of the opening, not that masculine energy of pursuit. So with all that being said, when we go into the intuitive success signatures, and for those of you who've taken the quiz, you know what your signature is. For those of you who haven't, go ahead to your starmaptosuccess.com, answer those 12 questions, see how you enter the world. I will tell you, for those that enter with the very masculine approach, so for wise strategists, for ruling warriors, and almost for loving alchemist, it's going to be a tougher week for you than the intuitive visionaries, the collaborative explorers, and the creative superstars. Simply because you like the linear approach versus understanding and appreciating that life is one step forward, two steps back, or two steps forward, one step back. So for you, wise strategists, allow yourself to think of the long term and take micro steps each day. Ruling warriors, you love the aspect of thinking about it's the new year, everything's going to be shiny. I'm going to be making all these sales. I'm going to be really achieving all of my goals. Set yourself up. Like literally look at this week as the setup, not as the accomplishment. And then for you, loving alchemists, you do understand and appreciate that intuitive aspect to your power. So really drop into that and look at this as if you're standing on a big stage and 2025 is your big stage. And how would you want that first step to look? Now, for intuitive visionaries, you can actually go with the flow with this. Just don't let yourself get distracted. Really use your own power and your own discernment to determine whether you're going to be able to say yes or not to something. Collaborative explorers, this is not a great week for you. Even though you can go with the flow, too many people are just aggravated, frustrated. They don't know which way is up. If you step into your leadership in this area and say, guess what? I know which way is up, then you'll have a good week. If not, you know what? Take a pass and just take it very slowly. Creative superstars, you tend to get overwhelmed when other people get distracted. So find time for yourself. Or if you do have a lot of meetings this week, allow yourself to have little pockets of space, because that's going to be super helpful for you. So here we are, first full week of January. And as always, it is a great time to be a soul. Thank you so much for listening and sharing with friends. Until next week.
Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more ways to use the stars strategically to align with your soul purpose, reclaim your power, and increase your prosperity. Please rate and review your favorite episodes, and remember to check out my website at kimwoods.com for my latest forecasts, articles, and offerings. To find out your intuitive success signature, take my 12-question Do You Know, Like, and Trust Yourself quiz and find out how you're living your stars at yourstarmaptosuccess.com. I've so enjoyed our time together, as it's filled with the power of the stars plus strategy to clear the pathway to your success. Until next time, happy soul tidings.